I'm back. Since I didn't have to move my camera to put in a new battery, I should be back at exactly the same place I was last time. And let's do some coloring in. These colored in. Every other stripe. Like so. Because once I do this and then I do the shading, good gracious, that's going to be a lot, huh? Let's see, how many stripes are in this one? Some of them have more stripes than others. All right, let's talk again. Let's do another question. If it was possible, which planet in our solar system would you like to visit? If it was possible, where would I like to go? I think Saturn would be interesting. I want to see what it looks like. When you're on the planet of Saturn, do you see the rings of Saturn? Like from where you're standing on the planet? Or are they just too far and you don't see them? Just curious. If it were physically possible, would I like to explore out in space and be like if you could take a cruise, an intergalactic cruise, would I like to do that? Sure, that sounds like fun. We would have to really step up our technology, though. Gosh, you've been watching that information about how they're trying to get back to the moon and how all those missions are failing. I think it's fascinating that we were able to do that with the technology that we had in the 60s. And now with all of our modern updated computers and stuff, we're failing. And I find fascinating. It's like, well, why? Shouldn't we know more now than we did then? Shouldn't we be better prepared? Why are all these failing? Apparently, none of the at least of the United States efforts of private companies trying to go to the moon, none of them have worked. So I find that absolutely fascinating. What was that? Buzz. That was an important buzz. Let me fix that. Let me answer this real quick. Okay, answered that. That was important. Okay, good to go. Where was I? I've lost my place. Oh yeah, here. This is the other place that Alina has done her darks. And I think that's a good spot. I don't like being right on. Where's my scrap piece of paper? I like to put a scrap piece of paper if I get to the edge, so I don't color on my background. Like that. I was sitting there this morning having breakfast, and there was my Ring doorbell went off, so there was a person at my front door, and I looked at it and what the heck is that person doing? There's a gentleman on my front porch, and he was digging around in my flower pot, and what the heck is going on? So I got up, went to the front door, peeked out the peek hole, and realized that was my nephew's car out there at the curb. It's like, what you doing here, boy? And you didn't even ring on the doorbell. You just popping things in a planter and leaving. He had some things that my son was sending down, but since he happened to be driving this direction, he said he would bring it to our house rather than my son having to mail stuff. And he just dropped it in the flower pot, thinking that would be a good safe place to hide it. And he was texting my husband to say that he'd brought the stuff and stuck it in the flower pot because he didn't want to bug me. That was sweet. And I had I'd slept in a little longer than I had anticipated, so I was still having breakfast when he came by. If I had gotten up at the time I thought I was going to get up on this lovely day off of mine, I would have been out here making this video when he arrived. But instead, I was able to have a little conversation with him, and he was heading to spend some time down at my mom's. He's been the last like 6 months or so. He's got some health issues, and he has to go home for treatments about once a month. But the last few months, he's been coming back and staying with my mom, just so that he's not alone at home. And if we could find him a place with a reasonable rent down here, he'd move back, but rents are not reasonable down here. And I'm not sure that the medical treatment that he's having is something that is widely available. So he's sticking with the doctors he's got, and it just requires him to make a drive from our state to another state about once a month. But it was nice to see him. Haven't seen him since Christmas. And dropped off those things for us. But it was like, boy, you didn't even ring the doorbell. He was trying to be nice. I told you that my sister's other son had his vehicle hit by a drunk driver. Luckily, he has found new transportation at a relatively reasonable price, so that's good. I don't know what's going to go on with any insurance or anything. I haven't had a chance to ask. But at least he's got transportation to and from work now. What a mess. You know, people, I don't care how much you drink. I don't care what you do on your free time. But dang it, don't get in a car. That's what Uber and Lyft are for. You know, back in the day when it was hard to get a taxi, I understood, sort of, that people would drink and drive, not realizing that they shouldn't do that and that they should call for a taxi. But Uber and Lyft are a thing, people. And then to be blotto so badly that you don't see the parked car. Good gracious. Driving on a suspended license for drunk driving previously. And in somebody else's vehicle. And of course that person says, oh no, they took the car without permission. So my insurance doesn't have to cover it because they didn't have permission to drive my vehicle. Somehow I seriously doubted it was his wife's vehicle. I'm sure she knew that since the last time, since his license was suspended, that is not the first time he's driven her car somewhere. I can almost guarantee that. Oh, this is going to be a really long video. Should I break it up into 2 parts altogether? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe I'll do it that way. And that way you guys can choose whether you want to sit through all of part 1 or just skip to part 2 or just fast forward through both of them. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to put them up as 2 separate videos. I'm going to put them all on the same day so you don't have to like wait. It's annoying when somebody does a 2-part video and then you have to wait like 4 days for or 2 days or whenever for the second part. That annoys me. But it's really long. Let me see. That's the answer to my... Nope, that was not that. Okay, that will work. Let's see. What else to talk about while I'm doing this? This is just going to take a hot minute. This might be 2 hours of video. And that's okay. I'm just enjoying myself, having a fun day. We've been working on getting stuff ready for our next cruise. Did our cruise t-shirt. Getting our ducks in a row. I have to make labels for those. I like to make tags that say, you know, like who hid the duck, the cruise. Little ducky passport like things. Need to get that done. To figure out how many ducks my husband's planning on taking. We have to fly both ways on the next cruise. We're going to be taking a Panama Canal cruise, so we have to start in Florida and end up in Seattle, Washington. And so since neither of those places are California, we have to start thinking about how much we actually want to pack, because when we leave from Long Beach and we're just driving to the port, and it doesn't matter how heavy our luggage is, that's when we can bring extra stuff. I'd like to bring a puzzle if I can. I might not be able to, depending. But I'd really like to. Usually when we bring puzzles, the crew really like watching us do a puzzle. Not that many people seem to do puzzles, but you know, this is going to be a 16-day cruise, so a puzzle would probably be a wise move. And then we usually leave the puzzle for the crew member to take down to the crew quarters and leave with the crew. So we don't have to fly home with it. And that gives us room in our suitcase where the puzzle was for souvenirs. But we have to plan ahead. Same thing with the ducks. Because we've gone into the next tier for cruise perks, we do get laundry service for free. So we don't have to take a whole 16 days worth of clothes. We can take like 5 to 7 days worth of clothes and just wash a couple of times during the cruise, which is good. And yes, there will probably be 3 formal nights because it's a 2-week cruise. There might even be 4. I don't know. We're still going to only just take our 2 outfits. We usually only take 2. One for really super dressed up night, and then one sort of casually dressed up night. We don't do much in the way of getting all super dressed up, but I will take my sparkly blouse, wear the same pair of slacks for every time, and then just change to a different sparkly blouse. You can do a lot with mixing and matching of outfits. You just have 1 or 2 base. I'm not much of a skirt wearer or dress wearer, so I usually have slacks and so 2 or 3 pairs of slacks and a variety of tops will do it, and then have them washed. That'll be fine. Okay, where are we at? Looking good. Yes, indeed. It's looking good. Okay. I feel like these need to be connected somehow. We're going to do this pattern again in here to connect these things. Look, I've remembered how to do it easily. Yeah, I like patterns that you can easily remember how they're constructed. Okay, let's see. Lumpty bumps. Just connect them with lumpty bumps. All right. Let's do that. Let's do it. I don't even know what time it is. I've been out here a long time though. I feel like I've been drawing forever. I have to go this afternoon to go pick up tiles. But I don't know if I've gotten the email yet that says that they're ready to be picked up. We did an online order yesterday and it said it would be ready for pickup today. But then I'm supposed to wait for the email that says that it's ready for pickup. I hope they help put it in my vehicle because that's a thing. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll be able to get it in the vehicle. You know, combining two patterns together really does make the video much, much longer. It made a much more complex design. The more complex your design, the longer it takes you to draw it. Imagine that. But you know, there are some days you just feel like, some days you feel like simple, and some days you feel like complex. Apparently today I felt complex. I'm missing one. This one. I am missing this one. Well, I want to thank you guys for those who answered my questions about, when I get to that point in a couple of years of physically retiring from my current full-time job, of the types of things that you would enjoy following me doing. I appreciate that. I'm going to just do a little bit of shading. I think it'd be easiest to shade this way. I could be more complex with my shading, but I think I'm not going to. I'm just going to go with the simple shading of shading right in those spots. And then under here, it's going to go toward the middle on all my lumpy bumps. I could shade each and every one very detailed, but that's not going to happen. Video is long enough. I am going to do a bit of white highlights though, because we're on a blue piece of paper. It looks so, the white highlights look so good on a blue piece of paper. It is amazing what white highlights do on a blue piece of paper. So that is like a must. Something like that. That looks good. Bit of shading. Shading is good. And then our white highlights. And then we can sign it and be done. 2 45-minute videos. Awesome sauce. Wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but it says it wants it. So there we go. really want to put I want to put blue gel pen highlights. I need to sharpen my pencil. I love this Prismacolor pencil for highlights, but it also Prismacolor is a very soft pencil, and you need to sharpen it a lot. They go quick. I need to buy another Prismacolor, just the white. Wish Prismacolor sold a set of white pencils. I'll have to look. Maybe they do. I don't think I've ever seen a set of just white pencils, but maybe they do. That's possible. They could sell a box that has just white pencils in it. We're almost done, folks. Believe it or not. 2 hours later, we're almost done. Okay, where's my blue gel pen? Make sure it's writing. Okay, I want blue beads. My watch is telling me I need to get up and move. I know I've been sitting here too long. Time to get up and move. Going to have to blue inside of these two. I'm going to have to change my battery anyway, because I'm surprised it still has lasted through 2 videos. 2 long videos. It's done a very good job. But before I do the next one, I absolutely have to change batteries. There we go. All right, I think I'm done. Whew, that was a long one. Sorry, folks. Zefirki and 96. All right, that was a long one. If you end up with this one in your bin or in your envelope when we get around to doing the giveaway for the 30,000 subscribers, then you know this one took 2 hours, almost 2 hours to do. This was a long one. You guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video, which will be Valentine's Day. Let's do something a little less complicated for Valentine's Day. And I will see you guys then. Have a blessed day. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make the world a better place, one person at a time, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.